In this question, we're asked to identify the reagents that are oxidized and the reagents that are reduced in the following redox reactions. And I just want to remind you again about Leo the lion says grr. And when I say again, if you watch some of the other videos, I talked about Leo the lion says grr. This is losing electrons is oxidation and gaining electrons is reduction. In other videos that are probably attached to this playlist, you may be able to get a little bit more information about how to assign the oxidation states and things like that. But here I'm going to focus on the reactants that are oxidized and the reactants that are reduced. So in this case, silver goes from +1 to 0. So it was +1 and now it is 0, so it has gained electrons. So it is reduced. In this case, they're looking for AgNO3. It's also possible that Ag plus would work, and I think that's a reasonable thing, that because it's the silver itself, the Ag plus, the silver ion, that's actually reduced. The NO3 is kind of like a spectator, but AgNO3 is a reactant that's reduced. Hopefully, it should be that copper is oxidized because the electrons have to come from somewhere. So in this case, we have copper with an oxidation state of 0, it's elemental, and over here, copper is +2. So to go from 0 to +2, you have to lose electrons. So this is oxidized. So here, the reagent that's oxidized is copper. This is similar in this reaction here. Here, copper is +2, and over here it's elemental, so it's 0. To go to +2 to 0, you have to gain electrons. So gaining electrons is reduction. So copper is reduced in this case. So here, the reactant reduced is CuCl2. Magnesium is 0 on the reactant side, +2 on the product side, so it lost electrons, so it's oxidized. Therefore, the reactant that's oxidized is magnesium. Finally, we have iron 2 sulfate and magnesium. So iron 2 sulfate, the iron is +2, and over here on the product side it's elemental, so it's 0. This is gaining of electrons, so this is reduction. And here we have the magnesium, which is elemental, so it's 0. Over here it's an anionic compound, so it's a monatomic ion, so its oxidation state is equal to its charge, it's +2. And here we have magnesium being oxidized. Like that. So here, the reactant that is reduced is FeSO4, and the reagent being oxidized is magnesium. You will notice that in all cases, the reactant oxidized is the metal that was by itself on the reactant side, and the reactant that was reduced was the metal ion on the reactant side. So the metal with a counter ion, the metal cation, and then in this case the nitrate anion was the one that was reduced. When you study electrochemistry and these types of single displacement reactions, you will understand this process a little bit better.